Cashflow Diary Podcast, episode 261.
Welcome to yet another exciting episode of the Cashflow Diary Podcast, the podcast that teaches you insider tips, tactics, and strategies for creating leverage streams of cash flow into your life. Learn from top-performing entrepreneurs, business owners, investors, and thought leaders from across the globe as they share their secrets to success. Like what you learn on this and other Cashflow Diary podcast episodes? Go to learninvestingnow.com and sign up to receive powerful tips and information that will help you succeed as an entrepreneur and investor. Now, here's your host, investor, entrepreneur, business owner, educator, speaker, author, and master facilitator of Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow game, Jay Massey.
All right, guys, gals, people of all ages, how are you guys doing today? I am your host, Jay Massey, and I'm glad that you are here today. So here's what we're going to do. I recently did another live broadcast that I believe you should hear. As you guys know, we've been experimenting and having lots of fun with live broadcasting. It's a different way of interacting with everyone. We've been on Twitter on Facebook, as well as on Periscope. So we've been doing those intermittently. If you want to check us out there, we have a whole host of them now. You can go to, it's at Cashflow Diary on Periscope, or obviously it's Cashflow Diary on Facebook. So facebook.com/Cashflow Diary. Feel free to check us out there because we have a number of them there that I think would benefit you, help you grow. At least the audience who has been there seems to like them. And I figured, hey, why not share this one with you guys as well? So that's what we're going to do. And I kind of call this one the 6 degrees of separation from your destiny. Here we go. Here we go. Hello, guys, gals, peoples. Glad that you guys are here. Welcome to another opportunity for me to hopefully share some information with you. My name is Jay, CEO, founder of Cashflow Diary, cashflowdiary.com. We invest our time helping entrepreneurs, specifically real estate entrepreneurs, learn to build assets. That's kind of what we do to help you build cash flow. Primarily is what the thing, using real estate and real estate related assets. This is your first time here. Feel free to type in the word cash flow. That way we can say hello to you. And definitely, please keep giving the hearts because we definitely like that, and comment as you would because those are definitely things that encourage us every time when we know that you're commenting or reviewing or letting us know. Welcome. Looks like the Airbnb dude. Welcome. Glad that you guys are here. And it looks like someone named Lewis as well. Glad that you are here again. If you were just joining us, my name is Jay, Cashflow Diary. What we focus on is helping people become real estate entrepreneurs. So I do a lot of work with new investors, etc., training and instruction, and just helping them go out there in the marketplace and make it happen. Yep. Let us know where you're from. I see Chicago's in the house. So that's good. This particular evening or afternoon, depending on the time zone that you might be in the world. Love it. And, welcome, Susan. Glad that you are here as well. A Cashflow Las Vegas in the house. This is good too. I'm glad that you guys are here. Again, let us know where you're coming from. For those of you, again, who are here for the first time, feel free to give us some likes on Facebook or hearts on Periscope. Dallas, Fort Worth, glad you're in the house. And just as a side note, we do keep track of who gives the most likes and comments and hearts on everything. So if, just in case you wanted to know, you have a limit of 500 hearts unless you disconnect and reconnect again, and then you can start all over and it keeps counting. It's pretty interesting. Hey, Paul, glad to see you here as well. So if this is your first time here, feel free to type cash flow in the chat so I can recognize you. I see New Jersey's up in the house. This is great. And again, I'm glad that you take the time. You honor me by taking the time to invest here with anything, anytime that you've been here before or you're here again. Glad to absolutely hear it. Welcome for joining. And I want to share something with you that was shared with me, and I believe will help you be able to get closer to your goals. And someone just said they're about to close on their second property. Congratulations. That's how cash flow is built, one asset at a time. And that's exactly what we're about, is helping you guys build more assets faster than you think is humanly possible. Earlier this week, something was shared with me that I was like, wow, that's a pretty good way of thinking about the progress that all of us have to make. And what it comes down to is, when we're in the process of making progress, occasionally we can get distracted by things that come in the way. And what I title this is, like I said, the 6 degrees of separation from your destiny. And what I'm going to go through is to help you understand some of the things that I believe will give you the ability to be able to tackle your dreams really quickly. Whether you're out there, and I see someone talking about having trouble getting financing for one of their properties. Sometimes we want to think that, you know what, I can't get my dream done because something else is in the way. And I want to share with you some thoughts that I believe will help you push beyond that. And Sharonda, welcome. Glad that you are here. I see Ari, welcome. We just had a call with you, Ari. I mean, you back here for more. And again, there are many things. So here's the first D that I want to talk about. On your path to your destiny, the first D is your dreams. This is something that you must come with, right? Your dreams. This is number one. So if you want to take notes, now is a good time to start. And again, as you hear things that you like, make sure you give us some likes and comments, as well as shares and or hearts on Periscope. It would be great. So dreams. It's the one thing of this whole path that you must come with. You must have something you want to achieve. Now, and it's something, and it's just something more than what you want to achieve. And it doesn't even have to be something grand. I see a lot of people get mixed up when they start thinking about their dreams, or they hear somebody else's dream, or they hear what someone else wants to do and they go, oh, wow, that's big. I don't want to do anything that big. So maybe, this real estate thing isn't for me, or maybe what I'm thinking of is just, this isn't for me, because what I want to do is, all I want to do is, stay at home or take care of my kids, or I just want to spend an extra hour a week, reading a book or painting or doing some art, whatever it is that gets them going. And I think we shortcut our dreams in so many different ways because we get into this comparison stage. And that's a challenge. Oftentimes people ask me a lot, they're like, Jay, how did you get so many, units of property and all these things? And I tell them my goal was just to feed my family. And that's my goal, is to feed my family. There's not much more that I'm trying to do. Now, that doesn't mean I stop once I get to the goal. Excuse me 1 second. Oh, wow. See, you can't edit anymore. This is interesting. And yes, that is a gumball machine in the back. It's a gumball machine that was given to me by one of our podcast hosts. Podcast guests. So you can look at our podcast at cashflowdiarypodcast.com and you'll be able to see that. Yeah. Thank you for, it's pretty funny. This new live thing is it still takes some getting used to. Anyway, step number 1, the first D that's in the way, so to speak, or that is on the path to your dreams or to your destiny is your dream. You must have one. Don't wait for someone to give you one. You must have one. Now you can and borrow dreams from other people. You can borrow dreams from other people. You can share, some commonalities. Like, for example, oftentimes when I ask people, what do they want to do? Travel comes up a lot. People want to go travel somewhere, and that makes perfect sense. Nothing wrong with that. However, there are dreams that need to be uniquely yours. I promise you that. The more uniquely yours they are, the more you're going to actually want to pursue them and stay excited. Because the next thing after the dream, the second D that's on the path to your destiny, is simply a decision. Now that sounds simple. You're like, Jay, I know what a decision is. And I would challenge that you actually don't know what a decision is, because most individuals haven't made a decision. They don't know how to make a decision. However, many of you who are watching this right now, you've made a decision. You right now, by watching me, you have decided that that you can't watch something else. Right? But you have cut off the possibility of watching something else because you're watching this with me right now. And that is why I honor you for doing so. This is the point. You have made a decision. You have cut off other options. And when you cut off other options, that's the point of decision. It's the whole no turning back, right? This is the direction I want to go. This is what I want to do. Maybe at the beginning of a year, you've said, hey, I'm going to read more books. Okay, cool. How's that going? Maybe you said, I wanted to lose weight. Okay, that was the dream. I want to be thinner. Great. I want to make more money. That one's also popular, right? But how is that going? Where are you at in that decision-making process? More importantly, have you put yourself in a situation in which other people can recognize that decision so that you can have the most chance for success? Because this is where challenges begin to arise. Because have you ever noticed that there are times when you make a decision and whatever it seems, God, the universe is you're ready for it to happen, but you know that it suddenly doesn't happen as fast as you want to? Well, that's the third D. That's called delay. This is the path. This is exactly how it goes. You have a dream. You make a decision. You're like, I am doing this. You are beginning to cut off other options. For example, it has been said, and I would say again, that if you watch just 1 hour less of TV and take that and let it be a book, let it be a podcast, maybe a few more live streams with me, that would help you to put yourself in a position to where you would have some new skill sets on the table. And with those new skill sets, you would be able to get that dream going further and faster. Hopefully that's beginning to make some sense. So you have that dream, but you've got to make some decisions. There are habits that we have that do not support where it is that you want to go. The challenge is that that's not it. Just because you made the decision, just because you had the dream, that doesn't mean it's going to come to you as quickly as you want it or as I want it. Again, the things that we want rarely come at the speed with which we want them. And some could say that that's for your own protection, because I think about right now, my son who's in the other room, he's 5 at the moment. If he came to me today, like right now, and said, hey, Dad, can I borrow the keys and to the car? I mean, I can't even get the words out my mouth before I start, laughing. Why? Because he's 5. That doesn't mean he couldn't figure out how to make the car go. It's that he doesn't even know how to operate what would be currently in this case, in this context, his dream. He doesn't know how to operate it properly. So he's not even ready for it yet. So before he can do that, there has to be this period of delay. And if I, as his father, did not delay that dream, his hope of driving, I would be the one at fault. I would be the one responsible for being a bad parent. I mean, be on TV, father lets 5-year-old drive. That would be like, I don't know. That's just not good. That's all I'm going to say. That's just not good. Yet, when we are ready for our dream, we've made our dream, we've made the decision, and we encounter this delay, far too frequently we quit. Far too frequently we quit. And this becomes like a weeding out process. You said you want this great thing. Well, let me ask you this. If the thing is so great, it should be worth the wait, right? And if it isn't, then you probably need to refine what it is that you said you wanted so that you can go out there and get it. Because immediately, at least for most of us, right after you go through the delay, what you begin to experience is difficulty. You're like, man, I feel like I know how this thing is supposed to go. I am making some progress, right? You've been through the delay part. And that delay part, by the way, usually happens when you're learning a new skill. So here's how it typically plays out for most of the real estate entrepreneurs or new real estate entrepreneurs or just entrepreneurs in general when I'm working with them. What has happened is that they've made this decision. Maybe they just got laid off, or maybe they just like, you know what, I'm tired of sitting in traffic, or maybe, who knows? All of those maybes happen, right? And now they're like, okay, cool, that's it. I'm going to never work for someone else again. Awesome, wonderful, great. Here's the challenge. is they start to make those decisions and then they experience the delay of actually receiving compensation for whatever their new skills and new efforts are. And they're like, man, I don't know what's going on. And they interpret, or we interpret that delay as, this isn't for me. I must not be good at it. Well, guess what? Yeah, you're not good at it. Every master was once a disaster and you were never good at it from the beginning. Well, I mean, that would be interesting if you were. But it's during that delay process where most of us are actually building skill sets. That's what you should be doing. And there's a delay factor. I mean, I can't pick up a bow and arrow today and become a master archer overnight. It just doesn't work that way. There's a skill set to this whole thing that has to happen in a certain order. And if we try to violate sequence, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. So we have to do these things in a particular order, which then is where the whole difficulty comes in, right? We're trying to master this new skill. Again, if I was to use driving as the example, maybe some of you remember manual transmission cars. I know I prefer to drive a manual transmission car. If you like manual transmission cars, give me some likes and some hearts, because those things were I think they're awesome. I think it's definitely fun that way. Excellent. Yes, I knew people I knew I couldn't be the only one that liked manual transmissions. That's good. Anyway, the point is, when you're going through a new skill set, like learning to drive, the very first time you get behind a manual transmission car, it doesn't go so well. The very first time you tried to build your website, it probably didn't go so well. The very first time you tried to get a graphic design or a logo, probably didn't go so well. The very first offer that you wrote, because you knew this was it. This was the one. I'm going to write this offer and they're going to accept it, right? I did all the due diligence. I'm ready to go. And then they said no in 15 seconds. And you're like, but I did all this work. And you're like, it didn't go like I expected. Here's the point. It rarely does. It's difficult when you don't have the skill set, but the only way to gain a skill set is to persevere, again, through the fourth D, which in this case is difficult. It's part of the process. There's no avoiding it. I know we want to avoid it, but you can't. You just can't avoid it. Now, the interesting thing though is, as you continue to persevere through difficulty, guess what happens? It occasionally gets worse. And then it begins to feel like a dead end. You're like, dude, I'm done. This is horrid. This is about the time your friends, your people who love you say, why don't you try something different? I mean, you've been doing this thing for, this long. Maybe that's just really not the way you should go. And again, it may not be the way you should go, but I would still say that just because you're experiencing this difficulty and it feels like it's the end, it may not be. See, here's why I say this. I started our real estate entrepreneur career with a credit score of 398. We barely had $75 to put together. My wife was unable to eat or drink because she had a condition known as hyperemesis. I had a punctured lung. I could not walk and talk simultaneously. The idea of actually transacting real estate was like the furthest thing from what seemed like the realm of possibility. It seemed as though we were the dead end. I mean, she's the one with 2 degrees and I have a PhD, public high school diploma. That's what I got. Okay. And it is like in that situation, you're not feeling like you're going to be able to do much, not according to the world standards, not according to the world standards. I didn't possess the pedigree that says, hey, something was going to happen. The idea of having a business or being able to employ others or provide housing, all of those things seemed like ridiculous. Because, and again, talking to all my friends and family, it was hey, you need a job. I'm like, I tried one of those. It didn't work. That's like saying, man, I got a cold. Now I feel better. Well, why don't you get a cold again? No, I don't like it. It didn't work the first time. And it feels like a dead end. You're like, what on earth am I going to do? Well, here's something that I found to be true. Somehow, you've heard the saying, like it's often darkest before the dawn. Because see, the 6th D is deliverance. And it only belongs to those who choose to persevere that far. If you don't choose, and that's the thing, you get to choose to persevere that far. That is the entry ticket to what it is that you say you want. That's the entry ticket. To get to deliverance, you must go through all the others. What does that mean? That means you must first risk developing a dream. Most of us don't want to do that because it hurts to hope. And I get it, especially when it feels like I've already been, and this is really true for a lot of the people that I've worked with who have gone to college already or extra college or that, third one. It's like, I've already did that. And it hurts to hope again. I understand that you want me to sacrifice? Isn't this the time that I'm supposed to be enjoying life? Well, your results would say not yet. And has allowed them to scale their business to unimaginable heights. So my hope for you is, again, that you will decide to join us. Again, if you'd like, it's bit.ly, bit.ly at /CFD Rome, CFD ROME. It should be all lowercase. That should work out. You can just register, pick your time, be there. I look forward to assisting you. And again, as a quick recap for those of you who may have joined late, not that you had a whole lot of advance notice, because you want to know what the 6 Ds are and, more importantly, what to do about them. The 6 Ds that are in the way of your destiny. The first one that we talked about was your dream. You got to have one, no matter what. After you have that dream, you've got to make a decision. You've got to make that decision. Often after making that decision, it comes a delay. And during that delay is usually when you're gaining a new skill set. During that process, you tend to experience lots of difficulty, which makes the weak among us quit. And then you end up at a dead end. During that dead end period, well, that's when a lot of people drop off, because it just hurts to feel like there is no hope. And usually, as I've said, it's darkest before the dawn. And that's when you begin to experience the deliverance phase. And in order to get through that, what I want you to do is to set faith goals. What does that mean? That means the goal must first be focused. It has also been called following one course until successful. Following one course until successful. It must be focused, must be attainable, preferably in smaller bite-sized chunks so that you can have little victories along the way. It must be individual, meaning I can't set it for you. Your friends can't set it for you. It must be absolutely yours. It must then, therefore, also be trackable. You must be willing to stare zeros in the face, because that which gets measured improves. And then it's got to be heartfelt, i.e. not just about the money. Your business is there to serve and improve the lives of other individuals. And one of the problems that I have noticed is that real estate entrepreneurs in general have trouble getting in front of enough people. And I want to help people solve that. That's just one of the many things that we've done at the Cashflow Diary. And we're going to be having a presentation. You can join us if you'd like. bit.ly, bit.ly /CFD Rome. So we're calling it our Real Estate Online Marketing Excellence. So Cashflow Diary, CFD Rome, bit.ly /CFD Rome. And I do hope that, one, if nothing else, if worst case scenario, the time that we've invested together today has been helpful for you, maybe corrected some thinking in a little bit, and given you some more reasons to go out there and make it happen, if nothing else. And then at the end of the day, if you should decide to join us, I do hope to look forward to influence you some more so that you have the ability to go out there and begin generating leads for yourself and your family. And more importantly, that business that has the capability and by default is designed to set you free from what it is you are currently experiencing. It's been fun talking to you guys today. I do look forward to talking to you soon. Until next time.